welcome to Q&A with Wade today on February. I'm sorry, it's not February. It's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
You can make your horse picks. It is May the 4th. I did not even realize it was Star Wars Day.
Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo, and it is also the Kentucky Oaks. So, two excellent reasons for the drinkers in the crowd to drink a little bit. If you don't know what the Oaks is the female version of the Derby. It takes place on Friday before Derby Saturday, and it's when the fillies run. Good time. Yes, and then tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo.
Do you know any horses this year
that are running in the thing?
Have you looked at the...
I haven't seen the field. It came out yesterday. Wednesday, the field was set, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't even looked at the field. It's terrible, because normally I know everybody in the daggone field, and I'm beating and banging around about it, but I haven't done that.
The last couple of years, we put the video out too, like the last couple of years when we've done a Wade's World right around here, you've done one, and you've picked a pretty good trifecta.
Yeah,
if you boxed them, you've picked a pretty good trifecta.
Pharaoh. I picked Pharaoh.
You picked Chrome that year.
Yeah, and I picked Chrome too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Pharaoh, because I went with All Winter King or whatever that horse was. It was supposed to upset Pharaoh, so that wasn't. But Chrome was a good one. Yeah. But anyway, welcome to Wade's World. 859-255, or I'm sorry, 859-355-9002. Give us a call if you've got any questions about your diesels. And we're going to turn the phones on, and probably nothing else to talk about other than that. Sorry about no Q&A last week. Probably going to do them.
It's going to be more sporadic. We will try to do them still same time, 3 o'clock on Thursdays, but it's just not going to be as consistent as it is fall through winter for us. It gets so sporadic with us traveling around, and there's so many more diesel events we're doing. Then we've added some new projects on the docket as well.
Yep.
So, what do you think about the new 2.8 Cummins?
The new 2.8 Cummins.
The new R2.8 Cummins.
Is that the crate motor, the 4B crate motor? I think that's the 4B crate motor.
I'm assuming.
I think that's right, because
what's in the...
No, the Nissan's is not 2.8. It's I can't remember what the displacement on that is. The little crate motor, I've seen it in 2 shows, and then I saw the guys from the Cummins conversion. Nice motor. I mean, it's a common rail 4BT, so it's going to be a good thing for sure. If you're looking at it to do a swap in it, yeah, absolutely. Where did I have that? I had a...
All right, we've got some questions rolling in. We'll jump into them. What do you think about a P-pumped 24 valve?
If you've got the injector set up right, it's an awesome little swap. It's a really good swap. The VP, obviously we believe in the VP pump too. If you want to do a 7100 pump, I understand that as well. It's not that bad of a project. They sell kits already ready to go. There's a wealth of information on the internet out there on what cover to use and cam gear to use, and part numbers from several different places. We've got a pre-set up kit that we offer for it. So if you can get your hands on a pump and you can avoid a core charge, yeah, definitely. It's not that bad of a job at all. I have seen them cleared in a couple of the swaps that are done that have had some problems with clearance on the power steering pump lid, so you're going to want to watch that too, because you're going to want to check your power steering fluid. If you're like me, like my Dodge, it leaks all the power steering fluid out of it, so you got to put it in there on a semi-daily basis. Adam is currently texting his wife.
No, I'm responding to some messages in here. I've actually got this working today, and then it responds as myself instead of the page. So.
That's Adam Craig. Send him a Facebook friend request.
I will deny Facebook friend requests. Let me get back to the questions. What's the best pump option? You're going to love this. Best pump option for higher VP horsepower?
So between the automatic and the standard shift pump, it's 10 horsepower. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you purchase from us, you're actually going to get hit for an extra core charge if you send us an automatic pump or a 5-speed pump for the 6-speed pump. So it's totally not worth it.
You heard that differently than I did, because I heard that and I heard faster air dog. That's what I heard of that question.
Let's think of VP.
Or possibly, I thought VP first too, but it said VP truck, so I guess maybe the hot rod pumps. Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I just knocked that out. If you're asking about which one to get, as far as VP pumps, the stock ones, don't get the 6-speed pump if you've got an automatic and think you're going to be changing the world. You're not. Go with a hot rod pump if you've got bigger than 100 horsepower injectors in the truck, and it's going to be a nice upgrade for you. If you were talking about lift pumps, there's not a difference between one or the other as far as horsepower it's going to make.
This is always a question people do. Maybe talk about when you might roll into a 200 gallon per hour pump versus a 150.
If you're going to be above 100, if you're going to be above 800 horsepower, you're going to want to go above 150 gallon per hour pump, I would think. So that's going to be your telltale horsepower range.
He was asking about the hot rod pumps.
Yeah, thought so.
All right, next question.
We offer a couple of different hot rod pumps. Just to speak to that just a little bit, we have Industrial Injections hot rod pump, which is a really, really good pump. We have our house branded pump, Thoroughbred's pump. Horsepower is going to be about the same of them. Ours has got a 18-month warranty on it. Yeah, good pumps.
Yeah, there's a video on that page, even me and Wade talking about the 24-month pump. Versus the 12-month pump, and then you say 18-month warranty.
It's the stock pumps. We're talking about the hot rod.
Okay. Yep. All right. 99.573. White smoke coming out of my exhaust right after I turn the engine over, just for a few minutes. I'm assuming it clears up after that.
Mm-hmm. You could have a couple different things going on there. You could have a glow plug not functioning, so you're not getting full combustion in the cylinders when you first start it up in the morning. You could have a leaking injector. You could have bad O-rings on the injector, so need more information on that, really. I would start with the easy stuff first. Make sure that your glow plug relay is functioning and all your glow plugs are functioning. Your intake air heater is functioning as well. Start checking the easy things off your list first. Adam made some outdoor furniture. He did. He has a website that he likes, and it's called the Crafty Crustacean.
I got a couple of them I like.
Crafty Crustacean.
Shout outs. I'm not sponsored by this guy.
That's all right. He ain't gonna throw us no bones anyway. But
Rogue Engineer.
Engineer.
My plans from.
Yeah. And he made a nice outdoor patio set.
Yeah,
It looks good.
There's two ladies that I think actually might have a show on TV now, but they are awesome.
Yeah.
Shanty to Chic. I'm not going. Yeah, crazy name.
Yeah.
Totally is a Pinterest name, but if you want wood plans to do some stuff,
Shanty to Chic.
Yeah, I can't even spell it.
Hey.
I just start typing stuff in.
There you are.
There, but they were pretty good too. Those are my two favorites. So. All right, I have a 2012 Ram 6.7. Pushes antifreeze through the reservoir and bubbly, plus overheating. I'm thinking bad head gaskets. What do you think is going on? My radiator cap and thermostat is good.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track with the head gasket.
What's some other things he needs to look for?
I mean, upper radiator hose being hard. I don't really need to. I don't need to beat the dead horse. It's the worst thing about head gasket problems is guys just absolutely don't want to believe it, so they'll go all the way around the problem and they'll keep circling the problem and circling the problem and circling the problem. And you can look back on every Q&A that Adam and I have been doing since the Mayflower came over here in 1692. We have had somebody ask us about a head gasket problem, and you see all the same people ask all the same questions. I think I've got all this going on with my truck. I think it's a head gasket. Wade, what do you think? Well, Wade thinks it's a head gasket too. That's the easy part about it. And guys worry and worry and worry. And don't worry. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. Take the head off the truck, put a head gasket on it, take the head to a machine shop, have the head decked, checked, put everything back together, and go on with life. Don't cut years and days off of your life worrying about a head gasket.
It already sucks.
It already sucks. Fix it.
Yeah, don't let the time make it suck more than what it is.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I literally spent about 6 months worrying about a head gasket. I blew a head gasket on Duramax one time. I spent 6 months just worrying about it and asking everybody I came in contact, hey man, do you think my head gasket's blown? Of course your head gasket's blown. The damn thing's blowing. It's pouring coolant everywhere every time it comes up to temperature. Yeah. So Funny story, my lawnmower's doing it right now. Just rebuilt the engine on my lawnmower. Yanmar 3-cylinder diesel. I've still got a coolant issue, so I know I've still got a run out problem. More than likely, it's on the deck of my motor because I didn't have my deck checked on my engine. So probably that's where my problem is. You know what? Hey, I don't even talk about it. I was like, man, put coolant in it, and when I get time to fix it, I'll fix it.
Yeah,
so.
Here's a fun fact: the owner brought a blower in here that Wade started tinkering on the other day, and magically since then, 3 or 4 other people have seen Wade tinkering on a small engine. We now have a pack of weed eaters in the back that Wade is tinkering on. They're multiplying like rabbits.
That's the good thing about me in this shop is I have, and none of that crap I have fixed. But you know what? Everybody is following me right to the edge of the mountain, and they've all brought their weed eaters in too. And I haven't fixed the first damn one of them, But if you guys need your weed eater fixed, bring them on over here.
All right, let's get back to some questions. You always hear people getting 20 plus miles per gallon. Is that real, or are people just bad at math?
Well, that's the Wendy's call today, and
Sam.
Today,
Sam gets a hat. We got a hat for Sam.
Sam, you got a hat for Sam?
No, Sam can get a real hat.
Okay, Sam can get a real hat. But anyway, thank you for the awesome question and the laugh today, Sam. Some trucks do. You have some trucks that all of the stars are aligned. Most trucks that are in good operating condition engine-wise are going to get you close to or above 20 miles to the gallon. When you take into other things into consideration that go with a truck, any kind of parasitic loss in the drivetrain, a wheel bearing, or a bad tire or tires out of alignment, that's a parasitic loss that's going to decrease your mileage. If you've got something going on inside the transmission that's giving you problems, that can rob you of mileage. And then obviously if you've got something inside of your fuel system that's going wrong, that can also rob you of mileage. So those 3 things right there, a parasitic loss, a transmission loss, a drivetrain loss, or an engine loss, all 3 of those components could cause you a problem. But guess what? If you've got a good aligned truck, no problems going on in your drivetrain, and then yes, I know transmission is part of that. Transmission's functioning properly, and you have a properly functioning engine. Those 3 components together, you're probably going to have good fuel mileage. Now,
and you have to drive quite a bit too.
Yeah, and quite a bit of road mileage. What stop and go driving doesn't matter if you have the slickest running truck on the planet. You're not going to be tickling that in stop and go driving, in town driving. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's do a role play thing. We'll keep our clothes on for this role play.
Shit.
Because we get this all the time, and I wanted you to hear Wade's reaction because I know what it's going to be. Wade, I'm a customer. I have a stock truck that I have bought, and we'll say it's an 07 Dodge. I'm getting 19 miles to the gallon. What should I do with it?
You should keep driving it, sir.
Yes.
You should drive it until the wheels fall off of it. No,
that's exactly
it's it.
We want to get you all better performance and stuff like that, but if fuel economy is your goal and you are happy with where it's at right now,
that's right.
Don't you touch that truck.
Yeah, that's right. But most of the time, the guys that ask us that question are the guys that 12 miles.
Yeah,
the 12 miles a gallon.
They need some help.
You know, and a lot of times guys will do lifts on trucks and 10-inch wide rims and 35/12/50 tires and expect to get 25 miles a gallon, and that's just an unrealistic expectation out of a truck. It really is. If you've got a 4-inch lift on it and you're dragging a 28-foot boat behind it, you're just not going to get 20 miles a gallon. There's no tuners out there that can do it, and there's no engine builders out there that can build you a truck.
And you need to hand calculate too.
Yep.
I'm all for going with your dash readout. The dash readouts, from what I have seen, the dash readouts can be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's the accuracy versus, I guess, precision.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the technical
right.
term? So what you'll find, though, is if you do a bunch of runs and you get an average of that there's 1 mile a gallon per 1 mile per gallon difference between your dash and hand calculating.
Yeah.
The hand calculation's probably correct. There's more room for error there, but at least then you know the error between the two, and you can calculate for that.
Yes,
so
that's right.
Good knowledge to have about your truck.
You can watch your dash fuel miles. Sorry, I was rummaging through my desk there. You can watch your dash fuel mileage as well to help correct your driving styles. That's why some of the tuners out there have got the driving coaches or the mileage coaches on them and whatnot. there to help you drive in a manner that is going to get you better fuel economy. You can watch that totally in your DIC screen.
That will help you a ton, too.
And that'll help you a ton.
That does more than anything.
Yep, you figure out where the sweet spot is in the truck. That's it.
I swear, we had an EcoBoost that we got in here messing with the turbos, and I swear half the reason why EcoBoost get better fuel economy is because they have the mileage minder on the dash at all times.
Yeah.
It forces you to drive differently.
Yeah, the new Ford DIC screen. I mean, obviously, and the Dodges do it too. It's right there. It's in your face all the time. You see it every time.
All right, we should probably answer some questions again. Early 99, 7.3 TS, 6th position. Chip AFE stage 1 5-inch turbo back exhaust. Looking for some more upgrades to help acceleration that are relatively inexpensive.
High pressure oil pump at this time. I mean, really, is what
I don't know that I think you're past relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
Point. You're in supporting mods at this point.
Yeah, I was going relatively inexpensive. Just speaking in terms of something that's less than $1,000. It really is one thing. But I mean,
what are the HPOPs?
What are they? Less than
1,000. 9 something.
Yeah, something like
8
that.
something. I don't know.
I don't have it.
In so long.
I don't have it open. But anyway, you've got the big three done. You've got tuner. You've got tuner. You've got exhaust. You've got intake. What can you do for just some more giddy up? I think that the 7.3s are actually supported also by the throttle sensitivity booster, which is a really nice add just for some low end power, just for some quicker throttle response and some snappier throttle response. There's a couple different things there. Wicked wheel as well. You can do a wicked wheel on the turbo. That's going to get you a little bit of low side. And it's also going to get you a little bit more power and airflow in the sweet spot of the RPM band. And again, high pressure oil pump.
07.5 LML. It's got Corey's tunes on it. Deleted. Has a slight lope at idle, both cold and hot. Is that an injection issue, fuel delivery issue? I asked him earlier. He says he does not have codes and all globe plugs are new.
If you've got a fuel lift pump, I'd like to know what the pressure is running. If you got a slight lope on it, you may be running too much inlet pressure if you're running an air dog or something like that. So I don't think you've got a hard part issue, and I don't really think you've got a tuning issue either. Hard part meaning an injector or anything of that nature. I don't think it's anything in your tuning in either. So if you got a lift pump, possibly too much inlet pressure.
I have a 94 12 valve with 310,000 miles on it.
Do you want to sell it?
Yeah.
Is it for sale?
At a high RPM, spits out black at the dipstick tube. Is it a broke ring?
Under high boost, a 5.9 engine that's puking a little bit of oil out, it is probably a very, very, very good indication of needing to go through the motor. It could be a broke, it could be an oil ring, it could be a compression ring, it could be, 2 or 3 different things. But I think that it's a very good indication that the motor needs to be refreshed for sure. We got a 24 valve. It's got like 379 on it. 379 does the same thing when we do it. When we're on the dyno and we're testing on it under its highest boost regimen, it'll puke a little bit of oil out too. Same thing. It needs to be gone through.
You talking about the old white dually?
Yeah. No, the 24 valve.
Oh, the farm truck.
Farm truck. Yeah.
What horsepower do you recommend studding a 6.7 Cummins? Some people say anywhere from stock to 500.
Yep, I agree with that. Again, it's the inefficiency of the turbo that causes so many problems with the 6.7 engine. Head studs and try to work away from the HE351 Charger. If you can work into a second gen swap or something of that nature, that's going to keep you out of head gasket problems. And we've got
Kyle from Flow Pro wants to give a shout out to George Jones and hopes he gets to feeling better.
Hey, thank you. Fix George Jones. Kyle got this, showed up at my office. I don't know what the hell it is, but it says hold for Kyle, but I really want to open the bastard because I don't know what's in here. But I'm not going to open it because it says attention Wade, hold for Kyle. So, Kyle, I'm currently holding this. It's on my desk. Back here, this is actually your area. Back here, all this is the gunsmithing area of my office. This is also the Groove Fab shipping and receiving department. More specifically, those two drawers right there.
All right. Is the Edge easy? Oh, sorry about that.
Shit.
Yeah, just took
earthquake.
Yeah.
No problem.
They happen in Kentucky from time to time. Is Edge EZ a good tuner for an 01 Cummins high output?
Yes. The nice thing about the EZ is it's all plug and play. It's very simple. It's a low horsepower module that's going to get you a little bit better fuel economy, going to get you better efficiency. We really like the EZ.
Do not tap the pump wire
You don't have to tap the pump wire. Yeah, which is another good thing. So plug and play, very good module. I would definitely suggest it, especially if you're just looking for a little bit more. That's a good one.
Yeah, good one for fuel economy that we've tested as well.
Yeah,
so
we've had very good luck out of it for years.
Looking to get a 2007 Cummins 5.9 or 6.7. What are the pros and cons of automatic versus a manual?
That's a good question. If you stay with the automatic in the 2007 5.9 truck, you're going to be getting a 48 RE, so a very tried and true automatic transmission. That would be my suggestion. In either rig on standard shift, you're going to be getting the G56, which is also a tried and true transmission, but an absolutely junk stock clutch. So in either of the applications, you're going to wind up having to put a clutch in it right out of the gate. So my choice is standard shift, either engine. In fact, I would probably more prefer the 6.7 engine over the 5.9, but really not. I take that back. Either engine's fine. Standard shift, it's either one of them's fine. Automatic, I'm going with the 5.9. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the 68 RFE. I don't apologize.
Also depends what you're doing with it. If you're turning it into a race truck or something, then I probably would go with the 6.7 at that point. But if you do it with the 5.9, you don't have to deal with any of the emissions at all if it's your daily driver and the better fuel economy.
I would not have a 68 RFE if it was cut in half and all of the guts were pulled out of it and my wife used it as a planter in her garden. I absolutely hate that transmission. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the trucks that are in. I don't like anything about the technology, and it can pretty much kiss my... You know what? You know what
is the wildest thing about what you just said to me? I could totally see you using a transmission bell housing
if you all want,
as a planter. I could totally see walking right up next to the porch on your house and you having that. Yeah.
But not a 68 RFE one because I wouldn't even want one on my property.
The wife could put her little bunnies in there.
That's exactly right.
Take pictures with them.
They're little teacups. But a 68 RFE, if she put one of her rabbits in, the damn thing would probably fall apart and kill a rabbit, and then I'd be mad. So I don't want that. I hate that transmission.
All right, let's see.
Sorry, man. And no offense against you all that have that transmission. I understand it is what it is. And I want to help you to try to make it more reliable for you.
We hate anything.
Not my person.
He's getting frustrated with it because he's seen it leave so many customers with a bad situation, and that's
$10,000 upgrade is a bad situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go.
So okay, I have a 2012 Cummins deleted, EGR deleted, pusher intake, pusher passenger intercooler pipe, driver intercooler pipe, EFI live. Fast. HP goal is 600 horsepower. Don't really tow. What turbo would you recommend? S4 63.5 over 83 over 0.90. And still use all my stock stuff, manifold intake, or second gen swap with the SXE 369.
I would go with the second gen swap. But I would still look at the S4 frame turbo. The 6.7 is such an efficient engine as far as the air that it moves. An S400 frame, anything is going to be fine for you. Absolutely fine. I mean, you can do a 366 he was looking at?
For which one, the SXE or just the S?
There was a 300 frame and a 400 frame.
The 400 frame was a 463, and the 300 frame was a 369.
I would go with the 400 frame, and more to that, the 400 frame gives you room to grow inside the manifold as well. Especially if you do the 300 frame and you do it on a T3 foot. If you do it on a 400 frame, you're going to get a T4 foot, and you're getting the manifold that you can grow into if you decide to go with a bigger charger. If you go with bigger sticks and bigger pumps, so on and so forth. So that's my choice. Your daily driver, I think you've got your housings pretty well dialed in where you need them to be there too. So
2012 6.7 runs. Those are popular today for some reason. Runs 215-ish temperature. Is it true it's better for it to run warmer than if I got a 180-degree thermostat?
Yes. Your stock temperature level that the truck came with, and I guess this is for all the models out there except for some of the 7.3s, that should have run the 203 thermostat. But everything else, the thermostat that is in it is the correct thermostat for the ECT temperature for all of the fueling calibrations. So if you put a 180 degree thermostat in it, you're going to get a different fueling profile from the truck when you start changing that. So stay within your stock thermostat temperature. I see you smiling. What is it now?
Ryan Hall would like to let you know that the Mayflower came over in 1492.
It's 1492.
Not 1692. No, we're not wrong. We're not wrong because we didn't say which Mayflower. It could have been the Mayflower tugboat that came over, Ryan.
No, Ryan's right, because as soon as I said 1600, I said, shit, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Why are you admitting fault? We could have argued our way right out of that.
No, he's right. I mean, I was wrong. 1600 is stupid.
Well, you were wrong.
I was like,
you were wrong. I wasn't wrong, Ryan.
Yeah.
Just for the record, that was Wade. I was talking about a different Mayflower.
Well, we asked Ryan Hall when the Magna Carta was signed. You know what I'm saying? It's fine.
All right.
I will tell you what was going on in 1692, Ryan. That was when Adam and I started this Q&A on Facebook. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever Mayflower came that year, that's when we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be presumptuous about which Mayflower we're talking about, Ryan. Gosh.
They call HR.
030559 Cummins. What causes a fuel knock?
I wasn't thinking about it because, it depends on what you're calling a fuel knock. A lot of people, if you're hearing something in the valve train of the motor and it's a ting or something like that, that could be a fuel knock, or it could be, I don't know how many miles you've got on the truck. You may need overhead runs, so a couple of different things there. I guess I would start out by pulling my injectors out, and if you so choose, send them off to have them tested. I would, while the injectors were out, I would run a compression test on the motor just to make sure that you're on solid footing, and go from there.
Cool. 01 Ram, 2500, 270,000 on it. Riding down the road and the truck bucked a couple of times, then cut off. Sat on the side of the road for 15 minutes, then it fired up, ran for a short distance, then it cut off again. Is this a VP44 injection problem?
I want to absolutely start with that, and that's probably going to take us to the end of the show.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I've got one more. Turn it off.
I'm going to turn the phone. I'm going to turn the phone off, and I want to address that because what's the guy's name?
Troy.
Okay.
Glasgow.
So Troy, it's a great question, and really I want to use the opportunity to help a lot of people that are out there. That is the exact way that VP44 failures. The calls and the questions that we get come in just in that snippet of information that
we could not have typed up a better example of that.
I really couldn't have
what you just did.
So many things that I need from you to be able to tell you whether it's VP44. Because number one, I'm going to need to know what your lift pump pressure was. I'm going to need to know if the truck is throwing any codes. If the truck's throwing codes, if you clear the codes, do they come back? And I guess all of the core of this is what we're saying is, even though one of the niches that we fell into in the diesel business is VP44s, and that 98 to 02 model truck, and God bless all the owners, and I am one myself. It's not always the VP44. It's really not always VP44. And Troy, you could very well have a lift pump issue. You could have an ECM issue. It could be a simple ground issue on the truck that you've got. So many things that it could be other than the VP44, which is a great thing because, believe it or not, we don't want to sell everybody a VP44. If we can keep from selling you a VP44, we really don't want to do that. But when we sell you a VP44, here's my sales spiel. We're going to sell you the best one in the industry. So with that being said, if you can just give me some more information, Troy. First, step one, figure out what your lift pump pressure is. Step two, is the truck throwing any codes? If you clear the codes, do they come back automatically? Okay, get the truck back running and get us that type of information, and we will be glad to help you. And hopefully that is kind of a precursor to everyone that's listening today, and hopefully we can help a small snippet of people just to tell them that it's not always the VP44.
That didn't take nearly as long as you acted like it was.
I know.
Zach Western was asking about the CTS2, the average miles per gallon on the CTS2. I think he was talking about when you and I got on a tangent about fuel economy there.
Yeah. I think you're going to find. I agree with what you were saying.
It's when you have a ruler,
mm-hmm.
the ruler usually measures the same. Yep. Unless something happens to the ruler, it may not be the correct measurement, but the distance from the end of the ruler to whatever you're measuring is going to be the same just about every time you use it.
Yeah.
So, therefore, the changes that happen are usually fairly correct. I mean, there can be instances where measuring devices change from the beginning to the end if it's calibration or something like that, but that's not real common.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're doing the hand calculation and the using that at the same time, it should give you a really good estimate. Now, if he's talking about the while you're driving, like the mileage coach, which I have on mine, and I love that. I'm not sure exactly how they calculate that. Do you know how they calculate that one?
It's an internal ECM equation.
I don't know, but I don't know what the actual equation is.
Yeah, it's miles driven, and then the voltage drop on the fuel level sensor. So once the fuel level starts going down, it's always sending a consistent voltage signal back to the ECM. It's a report that shows you where your fuel gauge is. It takes all of that into consideration. Adam and I, the only disagreement that I have with Adam and I as far as the hand calculation versus anything that's computer calculated goes, is the hand calculations. If you get your neck over full, let's say you get an extra gallon of gas in the neck of the tank. And then you do your hand calculations based on that. You would have to have the fuel level that went back into the tank the exact same level than you did for the first one for your hand calculation to be 100% correct. Let's say it like that. So so on a 32-gallon tank, an extra gallon of fuel,
your percent error is greater.
Yeah,
with
that's right.
Wade and I both have scientific backgrounds in our education, so we kind of argue back and forth about this stuff, but
ad nauseum.
The way to get around that if you're hand calculating is to
go to the same level.
It's to go to the same level every time, but even then you're not going to be correct. The only way to get around that is to have a massive amount of data so that your standard deviation between your fill-ups aren't going to affect the overall overall data set that great.
But fuel consumption is all. I
mean, it's so hard to do. You kind of gotta just do your best you can and take the rest of it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever your wallet tells you, really, if you want to get into it redneck terms. Yeah,
and truth be told, most of the time you're gonna do whatever it says to make you feel happy about it at the end.
That's right.
So, let's do.
Here's Alex calling. Here, wait. Let's talk to Alex.
Is this Air Dog Alex?
It's Air Dog Alex. Hello, Alex.
Tell him he's live on.
Hey, you're on Wade's World. In Shelbyville, Indiana, they don't have very good cell phone reception. Hello.
What's wrong?
I know he's got something good to say, and we can't hear him.
Alex, we can't hear you, buddy.
Can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I got you now. We're doing the television show today. What are you doing?
Oh man, I'm going to keep special for your anchor on your video paper.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in the middle of a live feed right now, just so you know.
You're on Q&A right now. Say hi to everybody.
Uh-oh.
You want me to call you back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll see us next weekend, buddy.
All right, well, I'll let you guys go. I didn't know you were videotaping.
All right, man. All right, keep your gown down.
Bye there, dog.
All right, yeah, bye there, dog. See you, man. Bye. All right, that's it.
All right, you
We're
want
out.
to talk about, let's answer one more question.
One more question.
Okay. Do you want to talk about 99 24 valve, a 12 valve, another 2012 6.7, or would you like to talk about the ASIN transmission?
I'm gonna talk about the ASIN.
Okay, well that's a real simple one. How do you like the Dodge ASIN transmission?
I like the manual shift capabilities of both of them on the 68 RFE and the ASIN. I don't think that the ASIN is necessarily a tougher transmission than the 68 is. You don't see anybody out there jumping to do big time ASIN builds to make them hold the power. If you've got it in a cabin chassis truck, I think that you're okay there. Really not a whole lot to say about them. I mean,
I don't know if there's enough to say about them.
yeah, there's not really enough to say about them. Not having nearly as many problems out of them as we are the 68s. How about that?
There we go. Cool deal. All right. I think there's we're doing Bainen's event.
Bainen's event next weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Got
a couple videos this week.
Yeah, we'll tease this. We do have a special sale going on this weekend that we should be launching tomorrow. I think first thing in the morning.
I need my shirt.
Yeah, make
Dennis
sure
got a shirt.
you're on the email list because that email will go out first thing tomorrow, and you can get first dibs on that text message list. If I can, I might put it out tonight. So make sure you're signed up for those two things. I think we'll be able to come out for next Thursday, but maybe not because we might be packing a trailer for the all diesel day.
Extravaganza at Bain and Woolsey's, right outside of Louisville. What is it, Smokeout or something?
No,
Blackout?
It's all diesel day.
All diesel day, yeah.
Maybe they do call it Valley Blackout.
Valley Blackout or
I
something.
think they had like 5 different names and they just combined them.
Next Saturday in Northern Kentucky, it's a good time, or Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Good time, good people, good event. A lot of your heavy hitters, I'm sure, that are going to be there on the track. I would assume that Fire Punk's going to be there, so that's a good show for everybody.
I don't know.
I don't know that for
his
sure.
truck
Maybe
is
not.
coming.
Maybe I'm totally wrong. Forget
Yeah,
everything I said. Hey,
might
Bain will have his truck here. There's a heavy hitter.
Bainen's will be there for sure. I don't know who else is. I don't think Anthony's will be there because is his back together.
I don't know.
All right,
I don't know.
we'll wrap
Hey,
up.
but screw it. I'll do a burnout in the parking lot. If there's no trucks there, which there's going to be tons of trucks there, I'll do a damn burnout in the parking lot.
Next Thursday at 3, guys. We'll do our best to be back here again. We're going to at least do 2 a month. We're going to shoot for 1 a week, though, as we normally do. So thanks for watching. Tell them bye, Wade.
Bye, Wade.